Hello everyone and welcome to the Divine Speaker, a boys love visual novel currently on Kickstarter. Needs about $4,000-ish left on it. It's got about a month left, so we got some time. It'll probably hit the goal, but you never know. I always like to put these games out during Kickstarter if I can, so people can donate if they want to. You can see there's some settings. You can change it to French, Japanese, German, or Spanish. It's pretty nice. I like the features. It's pretty nice. Multilingual.
The birth of a child heralds many
Voice
things.
acting. I like
Change, adaption, confusion, but most importantly, the judgment.
The judgment.
A newly born child's first destination isn't its mother's arms, but the embrace of another.
Oh.
The Divine Speaker. The person tasked with determining a child's destiny from the day they are born till the day they die. This destiny is determined by lottery. The speaker's hand, guided by the forces above, always chooses the correct fate for the correct child. This judgment guides them on the path to eventually becoming the person they were always destined to be. I stand behind these walls, waiting for them to fall. I will pave the way beyond the grave. I'll run away, journey beyond the fog. My destiny, I can hear it calling. I'll write my own story. A galaxy where I'm free to be me.
Rain, could we pretty please go play outside?
I know that that opening obviously wasn't the final version of the build, but it's like I kind of like the line art.
We promise to be back before it gets dark.
No. I quickly glanced over in the matron's direction, and she gave me a short nod. I didn't really have the authority to tell them what they could do, but that really never stopped them coming to ask me. They knew I could never say no to them. Look at those faces.
All right, but make sure to be back before sundown. And don't go anywhere close to the forest, okay?
The forest is forbidden. You must never go there. And then proceed to go there in the story.
Yay! Thank you, Rain! We promise we won't!
But why aren't we allowed to ever play there? Can we go when we're adults?
No, you can't.
You tell kids not to do something, they're gonna do it. It's just human nature, really.
But why? It's not
It's like,
fair.
don't press this button. Why? You can't press it. But why not? You don't need to know why, but I'm gonna press it anyway. I let out a sigh, but felt a small smile rising to my face. I couldn't help chuckling at their curiosity. They would ask the same question every time they wanted to go out and play.
Come over here and I'll explain it to you.
Jeez, Rain. It's like we're being put out. Like, oh, come on, fine, I'll tell you. I went over to the table at the far end of the hall. The top was littered with paper, children's books, and pencils. Buried among them was a map.
Look closely at this map while I explain. Our home, Aurelia Cavella, is surrounded on all sides by the forest.
Is it like the movie The Village? God, that was a horrible movie.
The forest is full of bad guys and dangerous animals. Do you know why?
Had kind of a neat twist, but, I mean, yeah.
Because the divine beings don't protect the outside land.
You are like 10 years older than what you should be for voices.
That's right. The beings above protect us while we are inside Aurelia Cavella.
That's okay.
But that protection doesn't extend outside of our land. No one can survive out there. That's why everyone lives here, where we can be safe and happy. I know it might seem unfair now, but you'll understand when you're older
This
that
is
we're just
totally
trying
the
to protect you.
Plot of the village.
There's just nothing out there to find. The forest goes on infinitely, with us right at the center.
Really? So I find that hard to believe.
Everyone in the entire world lives here?
I guess some people might find it annoying to answer the same questions every day. Not me, though, although I totally sound really annoyed. When I was their age, I asked exactly the same questions to the older kids.
That's right. That's the way it's always been.
But what's this place over there? Zuras?
Like, why is there a road leading into the forest if there's nothing else there? She pointed to a place north of the city with the name Azoros written underneath it on the map.
Ah, Azeros? I don't really know much about it, but once you get old, and not old like me, I mean ancient, the divine beings in the speaker reward you for your
Oh.
lifetime of serving them. All the elders go to live there alone in peace and relaxation. I hear it's pretty luxurious, but I've never been
It's
there.
a really bitchin'
You
retirement
can only
home.
go when you're called upon.
Like, they have so many games of Scrabble, you would just blow your mind. The kids looked up at me, obviously interested in hearing more. There wasn't just much more to say. No one really knew what it was like in there. The speaker tells us about the luxuries of Azoros, probably to annoy us. And it makes us all work the more harder to one day get in there. And that's all we know about it.
Now go out and play before the sun starts setting.
And you'll be eaten by monsters from the forest. They both scurried off the door, running, screaming the whole way. They're so cute. They're basically my little brother and sister. In actuality, though, I have no real family. I was dumped on the side of the road the day I was born. I don't really think about it much, though. It's kind of a sore spot. I never knew my parents. And the family I have here are more amazing than words, so really it's hard to be angry about it.
Rain, may I speak with you for a moment?
I looked up towards the voice. The matron's a tough woman, but good at what she does. She looked after me my entire life, along with dozens of other children. She's like a parent to all of us.
Of course, ma'am. What do you need? I hope it was okay to let the children out to play for the day.
No, it wasn't. Why didn't you consult me first? No, it's okay. I'm just kidding.
No, it's nothing about that. I'd just like to have a chat. You've been with us for a long time already. I found you in the gutters about 18 years ago today.
I think I knew what she was getting at. It's true, I should be coming of age now, so she probably thinks it's about time for me to move on.
Yes, it has been a long time. If you give me a few days, I'll say goodbye to the children and start packing up.
What? I think you
You're
misunderstand.
not kicking me out? She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small envelope.
This is for
Money?
you. Happy birthday. Go and get yourself something nice.
Nice, 500 yen. She smiled at me, bright and warm, but it quickly changed to a scowl.
Also, don't think you're getting out of here anytime soon. I'd go out of my mind answering those questions every day.
That you say that. She pushed the envelope in my hands and walked away, brusque as ever.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll head out and pick up the groceries you asked me to get earlier then. Be back soon.
We're spending the money that she gave us on groceries. I pushed the old, heavy wooden door open and stepped outside into the sunlight. It's very bright. The sun was high up in the sky, as it usually is. A couple, 100 million miles away. But a nice breeze soared through the city. It was a very beautiful day. But I couldn't help but notice that the flowers that were in full bloom yesterday were already wilting. Well, maybe no one watered them this morning.
Anyway,
I guess that must mean today is my birthday. I knew it was coming up sometime soon, but it's never really been a big event in my life. It usually just kind of passes by me without realizing. I looked closely at the envelope in my hands. This is the first time I've ever been given a birthday present. Really? I almost don't want to open it. It's kind of scary getting given something out of nowhere, huh? Curiosity was beginning to get the better of me, though.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
I tore the seal open in one fell swoop.
Oh my. By the gods.
That's a lot of money. Inside was 10 marks, which was more money than I had in my entire life. And a letter addressed to me.
Let's see. Dear Rain.
Dear Rain,
I'm reading the letter, not you.
happy birthday, my dear. I'm sorry we couldn't afford much to give you, but I hope it's enough for you to get something you like.
Aww.
The kids have been saving up just for you. From the day I found you, I've always thought of you as a son. Now that you're of age, it won't be long until you will be matched up yourself and have your own children.
Oh boy, she doesn't know what kind of game this is, does she?
Until that day, please stay with us at the orphanage. Both the children and I would be lost without you. I'm sure if your parents saw you now, they would be proud of you, just like I am.
I mean, this is all there is in the world, right? This one little village? Like, how hard could it be to find our parents?
Yours, Matron Arala.
I couldn't stop myself. My eyes welled up instantly and overflowed all over the letter.
Thank you.
My family at the orphanage is more than I could ever ask for. They saved this just for me, so I can't let them down. I'll have to buy something amazing to share with them. Like a really good cake. With determination, I started on the way to the marketplace. The markets were just past the town square on the west side of Aurelia Cavella. The town square was where the new children came for their judgments, and where the speaker made his proclamations.
The beings above sing praise for the contributions you have given to our humble home.
Who's that?
Likewise, they implore you to continue giving your lives over to them, for they provide you with protection from the evils lurking inside the forest.
And what if this is all like a big ruse, right? Like, they're all just like hyping it up to be some great thing, and it's just like a scam to get people to like work harder for them.
Huh.
It's like health insurance.
Looks like the Divine Speaker is declaring something right now.
He was dressed head to toe in white and gold. His definition of elegance in his ceremonial gowns, his long, silvery white hair reached down to his back neatly.
I understand your frustrations about our failed crops, but do not worry yourselves, for the beings above have a reason for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Soon you will see why they have put you through these
There
trials.
is no way that guy is not evil. That guy is totally evil. I played enough RPGs to know. Look at that smug look he's got on his face. Yes, Lord Speaker. The failed crops. I think I heard a bit about it from the matron. It seemed like this was the first time in hundreds of years they'd failed this badly.
Yes, Lord Speaker.
Before I knew it, I was already in the crowd, chanting along with the other residents. The eloquent and beautiful way he spoke was almost hypnotizing. He's the most highly respected person in Aurelia Cavella, second only to the gods themselves. The whole time he spoke, the crowd stood mesmerized. I was so immersed I didn't even notice he was already nearly finished.
In due time, all of you shall be rewarded with the freedom that Azeros brings. With this in mind, I hope you will continue your offerings and duties.
Is this the
Thank
guy we
you.
can date? Totally date this guy, right? Applause exploded out of the crowd as he finished his speech. Smiling, he waved and cast his eyes around the crowd. I waved and cheered along with the crowd. I waved and cheered along with the crowd before his eyes met mine. Oh, it's all blurry. How do I, what's the button? Space? It's not space. I always try to figure out the button to take the text box away. I could not find it. Almost instantly, a shock ran through my body. The shock changed to heat. The heat changed to burning. Before I knew it, I crumpled to the ground, gasping for air. But I felt like my lungs were on fire. Every breath burnt my insides even more. Everyone around me was watching me, but worst of all were his eyes. The speaker's. I could still feel his eyes boring into me. It's like he could see everything. I needed to escape them, now. I forced myself back to my feet, ran as fast as I could, and ducked into a nearby alleyway. Oh. What the hell was that? I could feel the world around me getting darker, blurrier. I fell to the ground in a fetal position, sobbing. Abruptly, the pain started to move. It concentrated itself in my left arm with the force of all my previous pain put together.
Anyone, please.
I shuddered, clutching my arm and enduring the scalding pain before my vision went black.
You must protect. Awaken. Destiny. Judgment.
I blinked a few times, trying to work out where I was. The darkness that surrounded my vision wore off slowly as I sat up.
That's right. I was in the town square, listening to the speaker, and then...
Wait, did I collapse here? I quickly checked over my body. The pain was completely gone.
Huh?
That's weird.
What? What is this?
That's our arm. When I got closer, I noticed something that hadn't been there before. Some kind of strange markings were running down my arm. It's not a language I'd ever seen before. My first instinct was to try and scratch them off, but it was like it was branded to my skin. It wasn't going anywhere.
I have to get back to the orphanage. They won't know where I am.
I must be worried sick. When I left, the sun was still high in the sky, but now it's already night. How long had I been out? And why did no one come get me? Surely someone must have passed me by in the street. I stood up slowly, holding on the wall to balance.
Ugh.
The burning sensation was gone, and all I was left with was a sore body, probably from laying on the ground for so long.
Where am I? I guess I'll head back the way I came.
Through the thick darkness, I followed the alleyway back the way I came. After a little searching, I somehow found the way back to the town square. A few people buzzed about, doing last-minute shopping or helping to clean. I clutched my branded arm close to my chest, making sure to keep it out of view. I don't know what they'd do if I saw it. I didn't even know what it is. I couldn't help but glancing around nervously, like some kind of thief that's always on edge. And that's why I didn't notice when I ran headlong into someone who got knocked off my feet.
Ouch!
I looked up at the person standing over me. He was a tall, lean man, probably in his 20s, with dark red hair that reached down his back.
I'm so sorry.
That shirt is totally not your size. He stood there for a moment, just watching me. His gaze made me nervous. It was like a snake sizing up his prey. And that's when I noticed it wasn't me he was staring at, but the markings that ran up inside my arm. I instinctively clutched my arm to my chest.
Is this where you usually spend your time bumping into people, or do you have a few favorite spots?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't shop at the children's clothing section like you do.
What? No. I don't usually bump...
Oh, I guess this is a privilege then. I feel lucky.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have insulted you. My mouth just kind of hung open. I've never met someone so rude before.
I'm very sorry for running into you. I was just trying to get home quickly, too.
To hide whatever that is on your arm?
No. Again, all I could do was look at him in shock. We stared at each other for a moment before he held his hand out to me.
Let me help you up. If you stay down there long enough, people will start to think you're part of the scenery.
Oh, thank you. No, I don't need your help. No, it's fine. Take his hand. We're not a jerk. We're not like him. Actually, he doesn't seem that bad now. I hesitated for a split second before grabbing his hand gently. He pulled me up to my feet, and I could finally see just how tall he was.
Thank you.
Guy was like 6'9" or something.
Just try not to make a habit of looking so sketchy. Who knows what kind of people you'll attract?
Yeah, I know. You, for instance. You have like a knives down there on your leg or something. The smirk on his face when he said was unnerving. I think it's time to leave.
Of course. I should really be heading off now. I'm late. Again, I'm very sorry for the commotion I
And
caused.
this is why I don't go shopping at nighttime. All the weirdos around. I quickly turned to leave. I've wasted too much time here, and this guy was kind of scaring me, not gonna lie.
Wait a second. I know something about the markings on your arm.
Oh, please tell me. I rolled around to face him again, faster than I've ever moved before.
You do?
Please tell me, what are they? I'm lost. Whoops.
I mean, you do? What do you know about it?
He ain't fooling anybody, man. We don't know anything about it.
I know the speaker keeps tomes written with the same markings in his personal archive. He's actually allowing visitors, but tonight only.
Really? How very coincidental. It's almost like something like fate.
Too bad you seem so busy. This might be
Yeah,
the last time it's ever open to the public.
It's really too bad.
Anyway, good night.
I mean, I gotta go to the marketplace. I'm really hungry. He turned around and slipped off into the shadows. I was left with his words just hanging in the air.
I guess one more slight detour wouldn't hurt. I'm already late as it is.
Bit my lip. There's no way I could miss this chance. If it's the only way I'll ever find out what these markings mean, determined, I head off in the direction of the speaker's archives. It took a while to walk across town to the speaker's combined residence and church. Every time I see it, I can't help but be impressed. This is the first time I've ever heard of anyone being allowed in his personal archives. I think even the Lord has restricted access. Maybe this is my lucky day after all. I walked up to the door and knocked on it.
Hello? Speaker? Are you home?
When I knocked, the door swung open. It was already unlocked, and I could see light from
I
inside.
guess he's probably already in there, showing the archives to other people. Excuse me!
I opened the door further and followed a corridor down to another door that was slightly ajar. When I entered the... oh my god. When I entered the room, I almost toppled over in astonishment for what would have been the third time I fell today. Bookshelves lined the walls going up to the ceiling. Tomes and documents littered every surface. In the hazy light, the candles flicked all over. Everything only furthered my amazement. It was beautiful. Never in my life had I seen this many books. I walked in further, feeling the spines with my fingers and smelling the musty scent of the room. Various books littered the tabletop in the center of the room, and I walked closer to them. I read some of the titles: A Brief History, Sid Khayyam, Bloodlines. There were thousands of books here I would love to read. I mean, surely he won't miss one or two, right? It's too bad he's only allowing visitors for today. Kinda sucks. I picked up the first book, A Brief History. I flicked through it slowly, reading a few sentences off each page. A brief history. Looked like some pages were missing. It would jump from talking about the palace being built to the animals that inhabit our land naturally.
Let's see. Foundation? The Kingdom of Aurelia Cavella was founded by Prince Shion on the second eve of Augustus.
I've never heard of who first founded our kingdom. This book must be really old if it's talking about that. I put the first book back in its place and moved on to Sid Khayyam. Well, I tried to, but every page was covered in black ink, making it unreadable. Looks like someone had a bit of an accident with this one in an inkwell. Bloodlines looked less like an official book and more like a notebook, but I was interested anyway. I opened it to the middle. Looked kind of like a birth record, maybe, of a high-class bloodline. On this page, the bloodline started with King Shion of Sid Khayyam, 10XX. Moved down to more recent times. It ended with Prince Caspian.
I keep reading about this Sid Khayyam. I wonder what it means. Wait a second.
Is our last name Cam? Prince Shion was the founder of our kingdom, right? That must mean this is the royal bloodline, but why does it only start 300 years ago? I mean, Aurelia Cavella has been around for thousands of years. Well, there must be a mistake here, surely. I mean, people had to live somewhere before then. And everyone knows there isn't anywhere inhabitable outside of our protected lands. Okay, yeah, the walls are starting to come down. You guys ever see that movie, The Truman Show? It's kind of like that, when he finally realizes everything is, like, fake. There's only here in the forest. I flicked the page over to the next one. This page was entirely in a script I've never read before. When I looked at the markings on my arm, I could tell some of the characters matched. It still resembled the layout of the page before it, so I guess it's also some kind of list of names.
It looks like the last person added to this list was 19 years ago.
So absorbed in trying to work out what that meant, I didn't hear the sound of someone opening the door behind me.
Well, well, well. An intruder in my archives?
Excuse me, intruder? I thought this was open. I whipped around to face the voice. It was none other than the speaker himself. I'd never seen him up close. I hid the book instinctively inside of my cloak.
Speaker!
Please don't hurt me. Lord, Majesty. I dropped to one knee in front of him out of respect.
Thank you so much for having the archives open today. I've never seen so many books.
Excuse me? Having the archives open?
That son of a bitch lied to me. He looked at me with visible confusion on his face.
That's right. The man in the town square. He told me.
That guy was a jerk. Oh, if I see him again. Wait, what? He definitely told me it was open to all today, right? The speaker looked as if he knew nothing about it.
I'm not sure who told you what, but my archives are off limits to all but myself.
I have the truth here. I'm going to tell everybody. Behind him, I could see guards appearing from every direction.
Trespassing in a restricted zone is an act of treachery.
Excuse
The
me?
only punishment fit for someone betraying their own home is death.
Excuse me? That seems a little extreme. I just read a couple books. I could feel my stomach drop when he said that. Death. Nearly nobody received the death sentence here. It was used only for the highest acts of treason or murder, which we basically never had.
No, wait! But please! I'm not betraying! I just wanted to read...
He's gonna notice like our arm, right? And then he's gonna be like, wait. You're useful.
I don't know what your intentions were coming here, but I must act in the best interest of both our residents and the gods. Guards, take him.
Now wait there just a minute, Speaker.
Oh? I could see someone pushing through all of the guards, making their way to the front of the crowd. It was our lord, who works with the speaker to uphold our lands.
We're not equipped to suddenly have a public execution, Sir Speaker. We haven't needed one in years. In this case, I think it would be best to exile him.
Excuse
Being
me?
out there in the forest is a death sentence anyway.
What? I kinda just wanted you to kill me now. My heart dropped even further. I thought he had come to my rescue, but what he was suggesting was worse than death. No one in my lifetime had ever been exiled. They're obviously like hiding something, right, from everybody. I mean, it seems very obvious. The things you would endure out there would be much nastier than the quick hanging you would get here.
Please! I didn't mean...
Silence.
No. He stood in front of me, his icy eyes digging in my soul. I couldn't help but think about earlier in this town square where our eyes met. I flinched away from his gaze.
Perhaps you're right. Why dirty our own land with the blood of a criminal when we can let nature take care of it for us? Guards, take his arms. I'll escort him to the forest's edge.
Both my arms were seized by the burly guards. There was no hope of escaping. All I could do was follow behind the speaker, being pushed from behind the whole way. I hung my head in shame as I was paraded through the town. I could see faces peering at me from windows everywhere I went. All I could do was look down at the ground. I mean, who could blame them? I mean, I'd watch too, right?
Release him. You may go. I will handle this from here.
The two guards saluted before marching off back into town. And once we couldn't see their backs anymore, he spoke.
I don't know why you would do what you did. Nevertheless, you must now live with the consequences. This might seem unfair. It would be best for you to learn just how unfair this world can be, though.
I looked up to his face. I couldn't tell what he was thinking at all, but I was mesmerized. He reached out and lightly caressed my chin with his fingertips. Up close, his long eyelashes trembled in the wind, and he looked almost ethereal, like he himself was one of the beings above.
You look just like your father did.
What? You cannot just leave me with that. At that, he released my face and turned to leave.
Run. Run and don't look back. Just like he did.
His back slowly disappeared into town. I thought about going back the same way, hiding at the orphanage, but everyone just saw me being marched through the town like that. I had no choice. I had to leave. With only the clothes on my back, the envelope from Matron, and the book I'd stolen accidentally from the speaker, and my regret. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna end the quick look off there because I'm actually really liking this game. Like, it's actually really exciting. I hope this game gets funded. It looks really good. You know, for being a demo, you know, it's pretty well done. You can download the demo on the Kickstarter page, which I'll link in the description below. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And check out the Divine Speakaer. You know, link to their Twitter. You know, talk to the devs. You know, they have a Discord, I believe, also. I don't know if it's public or not, but I can check on that. If it is, I'll link in the description below. So, yeah, I'll see you all next week, and have a good day.